Everyone says to niche down as a coach, but what if that's actually limiting your potential as a coach or consultant? And what if it just doesn't feel good? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can niche up using a methodology that I call the tree trunk method. And this has been really helpful, not only for me, but I have now worked with over 1,000 clients all around the world in helping them streamline and create and grow purpose-driven businesses. If this is your first time with me, my name is Natanya. I am a business and mindset coach, and I help amazing people transform their personal and professional experiences into their income, influence, and impact. So let's dive in. So the tree trunk method is something that I created really for myself when I was struggling with how to really figure out all these different ideas that I have. Because let's be honest, who is choosing one thing, one offer that we're gonna offer for the rest of our business lives, and that's it? That feels really restrictive, right? And it doesn't always connect to the deeper why of why we even wanna do this work. If you're a coach or consultant, you obviously have a heart to serve. And so that sometimes gets disconnected when we have to try to pull it in this perfect little one sentence niche statement. Now, I'm gonna show you how you can do this in a way that will feel more aligned. And I'm going to give you some visual examples of what this really looks like, as well as some actual templates you can use to create your own tree trunk method. Let's break it down one step at a time. So you think of a tree, you've got a tree trunk, you've got branches, and you've got leaves on the branches. These are the three areas that we're talking about. So let's start at the base, the tree trunk. And I really want you to think of the trunk as the anchor. It's rooted, literally, it's not moving, it's not changing. And this is the who, what, and why of your business. This is essentially your vision statement, your mission statement. It is the overall business and brand that is not going to change. So whether or not you still want to do one-on-one coaching in 10 years, you want to write a book, you want to speak on stages, you want to create another business as an offshoot of your original business, this is rooted, it's grounded, it is not changing. And so it really connects to your deeper purpose, your why, your mission. And I find that this is needed as a starting point before we can go and figure out the niches of how we want to bring that to life. So really starting with the who, what, and why is so critical. And it gives you an opportunity to be a little bit more broad and vague and not so confined into one thing that is the only thing you could do for the life of your business. That's just not realistic, right? And so for me, this looks like really getting clear for my business. What is the Bravo Life? Who is it for? What do we want to help them do? And why do we want to help them do it, right? So a version of my vision or mission statement is the Bravo Life is a global community of over 30,000 women passionate about turning their life experiences into their impact, influence, and income. Our personalized coaching programs, courses, events, and retreats are designed to guide women through transformative journeys, empowered as confident leaders shaping both their businesses and themselves. It's a space where transformation meets purpose, inspiring women to unlock their full potential. Now, I just want to caveat, this is really long. It doesn't have to be this long. I did add some of the how in there, right? So I talked about coaching, events, retreats. I could have took that middle paragraph out and just kept the first and the third, and that would still speak to the who, what, and why of my business, right? But I decided to add a little bit of the how. But if you notice, I didn't just focus on one. I put it all in there because this is all encompassing. And those things will be easy for me to shift and change if and when my business evolves. And so my tree trunk is rooted and anchored, the who and the what and the why, helping people turn their life experiences into their impact, their purpose, helping them really identify what that is, helping them transform, helping them unlock and realize their full potential, going through these transformative journeys, not just for the business they're putting out in the world, but also for themselves, because a lot of my work is about the person behind the business, because that is the person who actually has to bring the vision to life, right? So what does that identity transformation and self-work look like is a lot of what I work with my clients on. So again, whether I decide to change the how in my business 10 years from now, I know that if I write a book, it's going to be something about this tree trunk. I know that if I decide to just be a full-time speaker, it's going to be rooted somewhere in this tree trunk. And so this allows me to be able to play around and move things around in my business in a way that is maybe not as possible in just a very, very niche, specific niche statement. So we've got our tree trunk. I'm going to give you a quick little template that you can use for your own business so that you can figure out how to create your own vision or mission statement, right? So your name or your company name is what is it? Or who are you, who empowers or helps, and you want to describe your audience, offering, and again, this is where you can incorporate a little bit of the how if you want to, and this is for those committed to what do they want to do, what's their big goal. As a insert your title or your type of business, and your name or your company name empowers, supports, helps. Who's your target audience with the tools or the resources or the strategies, right? You're going to have to play around with the language here to make it fit for your business needed to, and what do you help your audience do, create, or become? So this is a simple template you can use as a starting point. Again, you may want to infuse a little bit more of the who or a little bit more of the what or a little bit more of the why. But the point is it doesn't have to be so narrow of, I help women over 50 lose their next 20 pounds, because sure, that might be one of your offers today, but what if in 10 years from now you are more focused on holistic health and wellness and supporting people in a different way? And there's no right or wrong, but it really is just allowing yourself the space to breathe and not be so boxed in. And so this is where a tree trunk is. And it also, for me, provides as a gut checkpoint when I'm thinking about new offers, new things I want to do. Does it align with my tree trunk? Does it go back to my who, my what, and my why? Then as we go up the tree, again, we're niching up, we're going to start to look at our branches and our leaves. So a branch is essentially going to be a segment of your business or brand. And then that branch is representative of a niche statement. And then we've got our offer value statement and our segment, our specific how of one segment rather. And that's your leaves. So the branch is the who and the what. That's going to be a specific branch of that tree trunk. And then the how you do that for people is going to be the leaves on that tree trunk. And that's going to be your offer, your actual paid offer that you put out into the world. So an example of one of my niches, because remember, I work with people in courses and coaching. I work with people in events and retreats. I support people in front of the business in different businesses. I work with coaches, consultants, retreat hosts, service business providers, and it's new people who are already 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs. And so it would be kind of challenging for me to put that all into one niche, but I do it all, right? Those are actually revenue drivers in my business today. And I'm going to talk about how and when to add more than one niche, because you do not start with adding all the niches that I currently have, right? So one of my niches is I help female coaches and consultants transform their experiences into thriving businesses that serve others. And so that is a branch on my tree trunk. Let's go back to my tree trunk just so you remember. So again, this is the Bravo Life. This is who, what, and why we help. And then one branch on that tree trunk is that the Bravo Life, Natanya, helps coaches and consultants transform their experiences into thriving businesses that help and serve other people. Very clear. Who and what. And then we get to the how. So the leaves on that branch is my offer. One of my signature offers for that niche is Clarity to Launch Academy, which helps aspiring and new coaches and consultants clarify their niche, craft a signature offer, and launch and sell that offer, right? And so very, very clear of how my tree trunk is connected to my tree branch, is connected to my tree leaves. Right? It's all going upwards or niching up. Another branch on my tree, because again, I've been doing this full-time for 7 years now. So I've got more than one niche, more than one branch, more than one way I help people. One of my other niches is that I empower purpose-driven women to own their stories, discover their voices, and embrace the power so that they can show up fully and share their gifts with the world. So remember I talked about me helping people in their business, so business strategy, business ideation, messaging, marketing, sales, but I also work with the individual behind the business. So this is that branch of my work, right? And so that's my niche. And then what's one of my offers that supports that specific niche in my business? Well, I have a multi-day event called The Shift Live, and it's for purpose-driven women to uncover their stories, embrace their true selves, and gain the clarity to make shifts needed to bring their vision to reality. So this is more about the personal work required to even have the confidence, the belief, the self-worth, the clarity before you go out and actually do the action of what's in my other offer, for example, Clarity to Launch Academy. Now, some caveats that I really want to call out here, as I mentioned before, if you are just starting, you're not going to have 5 branches. You're likely going to have 1 tree trunk and 1 branch, because you got to get good and known for one thing before we can expand to 50 million other things. And so this is something that allows you to grow with time, right? You've got your flow, you're in your role, you've got your branch and your leaf going, and maybe a year or 2 years from now, you want to add another branch and another leaf, and now you're doing both of them, right? But now when people come to you, they're not confused, because infused in both of these branches is everything in the tree trunk. So even when I'm talking about a very technical sales strategy, you're always going to hear a hint of women's empowerment, self-worth, self-confidence, self-belief, identity work. It's not ever going to be strictly logical, logistical, KPIs, right? I've got that. I've got the numbers. I got the KPIs. I'm going to help you with all that. But because my why is really connected to wanting to support and empower women to both realize and actualize their full potential, my messaging and my content and my work and my courses and my coaching is always going to come back to that very rooted tree trunk. I would really encourage you to, instead of just focusing on, okay, what's my hyper specific niche? Really figure out, what is my sweet spot here? What do I actually love? What do people need? What do people want? What are people already willing and ready to pay for? What is the why behind what I want to do? And start to draft that rooted tree trunk, that mission statement that I gave you a great template for. And then test out a branch. And if you're already full-time in business and maybe got multiple branch, start to map those out. And I literally mean draw this, like an actual visual tree. I want you to create a tree so that you can start to understand, in my overall brand messaging, what needs to be the constant, regardless of the offers that I put out? What is the constant, the tree trunk? And then in my offers, who is the who is the what for that offer? What is the how for that offer? And then as you continue to grow and scale your business, you're going to start to add more branches on that. I'd love to hear how this works for you. If this was helpful, I'm going to link below a free training that dives deeper into this, as well as how you can create a thriving coaching business in 2024 and beyond. And I encourage you to please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to get more coaching and purpose-driven business strategies, as well as identity work, I would love to see you on my next video. And I hope this was helpful. Again, drop a comment below, check out the free class, and I'll see you soon.